Om Shri Sadgurave Namaha. Hello viewers, Jai Guru. Today we are in another part of the rare discourse of Sadguru Maharshi Mehi Paramhans Ji Maharaj, which discusses the right way of truly liberating meditation. In the previous episode, we had seen that inner meditation leads to direct experiential knowledge of our own true self or of God, which comes from the freedom of all kinds of bondages and results in total liberation, complete freedom. Knowledge, we had seen in the previous talk, could be divided into 4 categories, starting with the first stage of Sravana. Sravana Jnana. Jnana means knowledge. Sravana means hearing. The knowledge that accrues as a result of hearing, listening, or reading, which is followed by Manan Jnana, that is the knowledge which comes as a result of contemplating, reflecting, or pondering over whatever we have heard or read. And this is followed by the third stage, that is Nididhyasan Gyan, in which whatever we have learned has to be practiced and some experience is gained as we start implementing the concepts acquired through listening and contemplation. And last of all comes the Anubhava Gyan, or the experiential knowledge, direct knowledge. And this is said to be the superlative and the final stage of knowledge, where all kinds of doubts, dichotomies, dualities, etc., are completely destroyed. We get a true picture of the ultimate reality, and there is nothing that is left to be known, and thus perfect liberation is attained. The shackles of transmigratory cycle are broken forever. Then, if you remember what Maharshi Mehi says, that now I would say something on controlling or restraining the flow of thoughts, that is, the propensities of the mind. Because we have seen meditation basically consists of reining in our restive mind. That is the main cause of all our problems, because mind is the factory of thoughts. Innumerable, uncountable types of thoughts keep on arising in our mind, like waves do in sea. So thoughts keep flowing one after another. Mind is never laid to rest, and that creates a world of illusion before us. And if somehow we could quieten the mind, still the mind completely, we'll find that all our woes are gone. So therefore now Maharshi Mehi is going to discuss in the next part of this discourse how the flow of thoughts could be restrained or controlled, how the mind's propensities could be brought under check. So we read, Muktikopanishad says there are 2 seeds of the tree of Chitta. Chitta could be construed as individual consciousness. So what this Upanishad, Muktik Upanishad says, that there are two seeds of the tree of Chit. If we can compare Chit to a tree, then there are two seeds of it. Prana Spandan, beating of breath, and Vasana, or desires, lust or our thoughts. Destroying any one of these two results in the destruction of both. That is, there are two seeds which are responsible for the growth and development of the tree called Chitta. One is the beating of breath, pulsation, and another is desires that keep rising in mind. And if any one of these is controlled or destroyed, then both the seeds are destroyed automatically and our chitta becomes at peace, complete quietude is achieved. Explanation. There are two seeds of chitta, namely prana spandan or pulsation of breath and desires. Just as we have two halves of a pulse, for example, green gram, that is, if you take a gram and submerge it, say, in earth, then you find that after some time, sprout comes out of it. So this, and if you dig that out, you will find that pulse has been, the two halves of it have separated. So what it says, this Upanishad says, and Maharshi Mehi explains, there are two seeds of Chitta, namely Pranaspandan or breath pulsation and desires. Just as we have two halves of a pulse, for example, green gram. It should be noted here that Prana and Pranavayu are two separate things, two different things. They are often confused with each other. Many of the scholars also are found to confuse or say misunderstand the two as being one and the same, while they are different from each other, fundamentally different from each other. Respiration, consisting of inhalation and exhalation, takes place due to constriction and expansion of our lungs. The vital force or energy that powers or enables this cycle of contraction and dilation is the prana. So prana is that life force, which is responsible for contraction and expansion of the lungs, which ensures the flow of air during our respiratory cycle. When our lungs contract, they get constricted, then air is thrown out, that is we exhale, and when it expands, then it sucks in air from the outside, that is we inhale. And this cyclic contraction and dilation of the lungs continues till we are alive, which keeps the respiratory process alive, which keeps the heart pulsating, and therefore the lungs are responsible for the flow of this vital air, that is pranavayu. But from where the lungs receive the power to contract or expand, where from this power comes? It is this life force, which empowers them, which animates it. So that is what Maharshi Mehi is trying to explain, that the vital force or energy that powers or enables this cycle of contraction and dilation is the prana, and that conscious current or energy itself is the prana. It is strongly connected to the lungs because it is because of this energy, this life force, this consciousness current, that lungs function. They keep functioning, and as they start functioning, the flow of air, which is related to respiration or breathing, is established. So the air that is related or associated with prana, that is this life force, vital force or energy, is called prana vayu or vital air. Vayu means air. So there is air outside also, but that air which is involved in the respiratory process is known as pranavayu, and the flow of this pranavayu, that is vital air, is enabled because of that life force or consciousness current or energy, that is prana. So prana is the life force, vital force or energy, whereas pranavayu is the vital air which is connected with respiration. So the two must be understood in their true context as being different from each other. The hymn or hymn quoted earlier from Muktika Upanishad refers to controlling this prana spandan, pulsation of breath. Two ways have been suggested. One is by controlling the pulsation of breath, another is by controlling the desires. First he is dealing with the first, that is controlling the prana spandan. Spandan means pulsation. Okay, so prana spandan means pulsation of breath. How will that happen? Consider this. You are trying to sit upon an oscillating, shaking or moving object. If you don't have adequate power, enough power, then you too would begin to oscillate or move along with the moving object on which you are sitting. However, if you are powerful enough, you can forcibly still even the moving object. This way, the pulsation of breath can be stopped. That would call for keeping the air even. He who is capable of doing so experiences delight. In the process, several yogic acts like Rechak, Purak, Kumbhak, etc. have to be performed. Again, pranayam, there are several steps by which we control the pulsation of breath or our respiration. Rechak means emptying. That is, you empty the whole air outside. Purak means drawing in, filling. So we fill our lungs with air, and Kumbhak is stopping. Okay, if it is filled, then stop it in the filled condition. Stop the breathing process and let it be filled. And once you have exhaled, then again there is another type of what we call Kumbhak, that is negative Kumbhak. That is everything, all the air has been expelled out and you have to hold like that only. So there are very complicated processes involved. Not only that, there are specific postures in which you have to sit. The tongue, etc. has to be oriented in an extremely difficult fashion. So that is what he refers. He has mentioned only two, but if you refer to the literature of what is called as Hatha Yoga, then you will find all the details of how this pranayam is accomplished. So in the process, several yogic acts like Rechak, Purak, etc. have to be performed. These processes yield good results if they are performed exactly as per the specified rules. Otherwise, they can be dangerous too. As Shandilya Upanishad says, just as lion, elephant and tiger are tamed slowly and slowly, breath control likewise should be tried slowly and slowly, otherwise it might even kill its practitioner. Okay, so there are very strong risks, grave risks involved in the first method of controlling the Chitta, the two seeds of the tree called Chitta we have seen. So first is by practicing pranayam. Okay, that is controlling the breath, etc. And that is too dangerous. It has to be performed and learned under the direct supervision of the trainer. And many persons are known to have died also just because of some faulty or erroneous practice of the method. So it's too risky. Then Maharshi Mehi says, secondly, only dhyana-abhyas or practicing meditation is capable of controlling the pulsation of breath. Desires come, we push them away. What was the second seed, if you remember? Second seed was desires or lust or thoughts. So if we could control, if we are not able to control pranaspandan, pranayam, breath, then what should we opt for? The other alternative, that is controlling desires. And that is by practicing meditation. So, secondly, only practicing meditation or dhyana abhyas is capable of controlling the pulsation of breath. Desires come, we push them away. Mind wanders, we still it consciously. The act of making such repeated efforts is known as pratyahar. That is, we apply the mind, try to focus it at a given target, it strays, it flies away, and whenever we become conscious of it having strayed, we try to bring it back to the target. It flies back again, strays away, again we bring it back. So this is how we have to go on trying. And Maharshi Mehi says, the act of making such repeated efforts is known as pratyahar. Trying pratyahar regularly, repeatedly, it would become possible to quieten the mind. It would become possible to quieten the mind, albeit for an extremely short duration in the beginning. Such a state of meditation in which the mind gets still for very short intervals is called dharana. Dharana. Subsequently, with continued and perseverant meditation, when it becomes possible to prolong the duration of dharana for relatively longer time intervals, dhyana would be accomplished. This way or method of meditation is entirely risk-free, whereas pranayam is fraught with risks. If you try to concentrate hard on any topic, rate of breathing slows down. On the contrary, doing something in a restless state of mind or in an excited state, in anger or deep attachment, respiration becomes racy. Thus, stillness or quietening of mind results in stilling of the respiration too. Scriptures even mention the distance at which the mind has to be focused. If the mind is focused, pulsation of breath or prana ceases. That is, if we practice the second method, benefits are many. First of all, it is too easy, simple, so that even a child could practice it, even an old person could practice it. Illiterate, literate, rich, poor, this religion, that religion, this country, that country, anyone can practice it. And what is another beautiful aspect of it, that if you start getting perfection in this, then the first method also gets automatically accomplished. That is, when the mind is completely stilled at the target as taught by a guru, then you will find that pulsation of breath also has completely ceased, stopped. And that is why it was said that the Chitta, tree of Chitta has got two seeds, and if you destroy one of them, both of them automatically get destroyed. Okay. And scriptures even mention the distance at which the mind has to be focused. Pulsation of breath is stopped if consciously vision is focused or stilled at a distance equal to 12 times the width of a finger in front of the nose in the inner sky. Now this again is abstruse in nature. We should not take it in the literary sense of the term. Okay, this is known as nasagra. and what are these 12 times the width of a finger, it becomes obvious if we start practicing as taught by our Guru. So it's not that we are going to measure inside say a distance of 12 times the width. We don't have a scale inside, and that is not possible also. So let us not treat it or consider it literally. So it is your choice. Practice any one of the above two methods as you like. If you love grappling or playing with risks, do pranayam. Or else, if you prefer to have a peaceful, risk-free way, practice meditation. As has been said, when mind becomes completely free from desires and gets absolutely detached from the sensory objects, then it ceases to exist, which gives rise to absolute tranquility or peace. To make propositions, how it can be explained, to make propositions, what is etc. is the nature of mind. That is, we say have some proposal cropping up in our mind, and the very other moment we start arguing against it. Let me go to satsang, oh leave it today, I'll go into the next. Okay, so one is proposition, and then again another is counter thought to that. So that is the nature of mind. To make propositions and counter propositions is the nature of mind. When the mind ceases to exist, gets dissolved, then who experiences tranquility? Obviously that entity which lies beyond the mind, because mind keeps on producing thoughts. When it gets stilled, then who experiences peace? Who experiences tranquility? Naturally, it must be something different from the mind, which lies beyond the mind, that which the mind is not capable of knowing. So that is what he says. To make propositions, etc., is the nature of mind. When the mind ceases to exist, gets dissolved, then who experiences tranquility? Obviously that entity which lies beyond the mind, that which the mind is not capable of knowing. You are beyond mind, so you would attain that peace. That is, if we want to experience peace, we want to get freed of all the woes, etc., then we have to learn restraining and quietening the mind. And as the mind gets quietened, we start experiencing peace. Sant Darya Sahab of Marwad, Rajasthan, India says, mind, intellect, chit and ego remain active only up to Trikuti, a region in the inner cosmos lying above that of the 1,000-petal lotus, beyond which mind, intellect, chit and ego remain active only up to Trikuti, beyond which lies the realm of the soul. What is this Trikuti, etc., and what are the regions below this, above this? Discussion of that we'll see in the another portion of the talk, because already it's more than 23 minutes that we are into this session. So I stop here itself, and we'll continue this discourse in the next session. Thank you very much. Jai Guru, Vaheguru, Radha Swami, Satyaram Swa, Namaste.